Attention! Attention! This is a special, very important broadcast. You're looking at a man who weighed almost 500 pounds. He weighed more than 200 pounds when he was only 12 years old. But he's lost 225 pounds. Now he will tell us his secret and show you how you can achieve the same results in the comfort of your own home.
Help, help, I'm trapped in this massive fat body. Please let me out. My name is Frank Wonders and I weighed 425 pounds. I'd lose weight, but I'd always gain it back until I met Sam Moranto. He showed me how to use my mind power. He showed me how to stay on a good diet and to exercise. And here I am now after a 225-pound weight loss from a size 58 waist to a slim 34 waist.
Can you imagine losing 225 pounds? Frank Wonders is now a very successful real estate man. Since his weight loss, his income has improved. He's overcome his shyness, and you can do the same thing. Here's another example. Heather Weber once tipped the scales at almost 200 pounds. She could lose weight, but she always gained it back. She had depression. She was shy and bashful. But here she is now, appearing on national television.
My name is Heather Weber. This picture of me was taken in Sam Moranto's office a year ago when I weighed 182 pounds. Here I am now at 111 pounds, and I feel wonderful. The man who made it happen for me is Sam Moranto.
Heather's social life has improved so much that she recently got married. She tried exercise, diets, health clubs, aerobics, even shots and pills, but nothing gave lasting results until she got Sam Moranto's Mind Power cassette tapes. And you're going to get a chance to try Sam Moranto's program. Stay tuned. Folks, you've just met a man who weighed 425 pounds and lost 225 pounds. You've met a woman who weighed 182 pounds and is now down to a trim 111. Now you're going to meet the man who helped make it happen. Well, you're going to meet him in just a moment. You folks at home that have headaches or pain or depression, if you have any kind of a problem, be sure to stay tuned. Get your members of your family to join you and listen to this man. He is unlike any other person you have ever met. He operates one of the world's most successful self-help centers from his own office in Phoenix, Arizona. He is an expert on behavior modification, and today he's going to teach you how to get results in your own home, wherever you may live. Would you please join me in welcoming the architect of mind power, internationally known Sam Moranto.
I'm overwhelmed that all you beautiful people took the time to show up today. I love you with all my heart. And these people are just like you at home. Same kind of problems that you have. We're going to show you how you can use your mind to control stress, hypertension, how you can lose weight and keep the pounds off, how you can stop smoking cigarettes without gaining weight, how you can come off of tranquilizers, sleeping pills, painkillers. And how can that be done? By using what God gave you, and that's your mind.
Folks, I'm sorry, but I have to break into the show. This show lasted 3.5 hours. I sent letters out to people that came to me back 11 years ago, some recent members that have lost 200 pounds, 100 pounds, 50 pounds, and kept the weight off for over 10 years. People with headaches that have had no headaches for over 10 years. People that have had more motivation, they've been more assertive and improved their lives in many ways are on that show. But before I continue with the show, I must let you know that I've got to condense the show down and just give you some highlights because I interviewed over 40 different people and I didn't even get to near even half the people that were in the room. So you could be a success story too, and a lasting success story. Let me explain before I go on with the show. I'm here in my own studio. I have my own recording studio, and I want to explain to you exactly how I work. I started with this wire recorder when I was only 18 years old. I bought it. And I would put my voice onto wire, and at 3 o'clock in the morning, a timer would go off, and the timer would say to me, Sam, you're going to watch your weight, you're going to be more aggressive, you're going to be a good salesperson. And this little machine enabled me for the last 36 years to do the things that I wanted to do with my life. Now with modern technology, we have cassette tapes. I use stereo cassette tapes. I put my voice onto these tapes. I give them to people, and it gets into these beautiful people's minds, and it makes things happen. Now, I want to explain how the mind works. Before I do that even, I want you to understand this. You can buy powder diets and pills for weight reduction. You can spend $39 every month or so. It's like throwing your money away. You can buy bags of food. You can weigh your fish. You'll lose weight. The only problem is a year later, you've got the weight back and additional pounds. And when you get to be about 30 to 35 years old, you start gaining about 5 to 10 pounds a year. And by the time you reach 40 years old, you've got 50 to 100 pounds of excess weight on. Causes diabetes, heart attacks, strokes, and a lot of physical problems. Now, how are you going to change those eating habits? Very simply, by using my method. I have a lot of nurses and dietitians that come to me. And why do they study dietary foods? Because they've got a weight problem. The whole family has a weight problem. They're trying to find the answers, but they still feed their kids wrong. They feed their husbands wrong. They still eat wrong, because in the mind they were programmed for the first 18 years of their life by someone that loved them to eat, clean the plate, don't waste the food, other children are starving. And that programming has to be taken out of the mind. I've got right now over 60 people that have already had stomach stapling. That operation cost $15,000. The stitches broke, the weight came back, the people still ate. Just because you have that operation doesn't mean that it's changing the thinking in the computer. Let me show you how easy it is to understand the mind. Let's pretend that this is a mind. And these little eyes here have seen beautiful things in life. So roses are planted. So a person that has had a lot of roses is going to have a nice, happy life. They're going to be able to watch their weight. They're going to have a happy marriage. They're going to earn money because good ideas have been put into their little computer. Now, the flower pot has no control. It's going to grow. If you put crabgrass in here, whatever you put in it, it's going to grow. Now, here's another flower pot, and these little eyes have seen Daddy fighting with Mother. These little eyes have seen arguing. They have seen child abuse, or they've been abused. And a lot of weeds have been planted into this mind. Now, this flower pot, even if it could talk and say, please don't, it's still going to grow what's ever been put into its mind. And when your mother or someone tells you to clean that plate, eat that food, I'll put you in your room, other children are starving, and they do this for years and years and years and years, there's nothing that's going to take that out of your mind, folks. If you got a weight problem, you're going to have that weight problem unless you get into your mind and you change your behavior. Everything else that you try is temporary. I've seen other people selling tapes, all kinds of tapes for weight loss and that, and they've got people to lose weight, but let them show you the people 10 years later, 5 years later, the people got the weight back, and even more so. You need my program, and I want to show you how you can get lasting results. I want you to watch some of the people that appeared onto my show right now.
Emergency ward. The stress that doctors have is unreal. The old family country doctor would have sit with this man and asked him about his problem and talked to him, but the doctors don't have the time today. They have to give you a pill because you have a chemical imbalance in the brain because he's unhappy. Make him happy, the mind produces the chemicals, you don't need the pill. Temporary use, I'm 100% for medication, but not prolonged use. No good doctor wants you to take it forever. But Dr. Garrington is here today, and I'd like to have you come up, please. Let's give him a nice hand. Thanks very much. Would you just turn? Dr. Garrington, what can you tell the people what you observed with your own eyes? The truth, not what the truth, what you actually seen. Would you take the mic and just explain it to the people?
Certainly. First, I'd like to add that I've been coming to Sam Moranto's Faith Center for approximately 6 years. And during that time, I was coming in to evaluate people that had problems that sometimes were beyond some of the think faith. However, in my skepticism that I had when I was there, I was able to see that there were true changes in some of these people. They were going from smoking 2 packs, 3 packs a day and going to no smoking at all. People that had significant amount of stress because of the everyday problems that they had. They were able to control and manage and function much better in their environment. I do endorse the way he approaches people. I do endorse the way people react to them. And I see benefit. And if that's the case, then humanity should have more of it.
Thank you very much. That's beautiful. Thank you. We're going to take a break right now, and we'll be right back. So stay tuned, because you're going to see a 6-year-old boy next.
Stay tuned. There's more to come on Sam Moranto's Mind Power, so don't go away. We'll show you how you can use your God-given mind power right in your own home. So stay tuned. We'll be back right after this.
We're back. Now we got that 6-year-old boy right here. I'm going to let his mother tell a story. Brenda, would you come up here, please? Brenda, you came to me how many years ago?
1 year ago this month.
And you wanted to stop smoking, and you had depression.
Right, I was under a lot of stress. I tried to quit smoking many, many times and always gained 25 pounds within a couple of weeks. I never gained any weight, and the stress has just about diminished. I have hardly any stress anymore.
That's beautiful. The stress that you had was mainly, can we talk about it? What did your husband do?
He committed suicide 3 years ago, and it was a very hard time for my son and I both. I couldn't deal with it, and it showed up on him. He was having a very hard time sleeping at night. He was having very bad dreams. He'd wake up in the middle of the night screaming and crying, and I didn't know what to do about it. And I went to Sam and I said, I'm having a real hard problem with my little boy. I get upset about it. I can't deal with it. And he said, bring him in and I can help him. So I brought him in. Sam worked with him for a couple of hours. We took some tapes home. Andrew had listened to them, and now he sleeps all night long. He doesn't have any more bad dreams, and he's doing super good in school. He's only in kindergarten, but he does really well.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you very much. Andrew is 6 years old. She came, the suicide was 3 years ago. He was 5 when he came to me, and that made Andrew 2 years old at the time his father committed suicide. When I worked with Andrew, he told me he heard fire trucks and screaming and yelling, and he couldn't sleep, was having nightmares. Now, the average therapy would have been hypertension pills or hyperactive pills, I don't know which doctors give the children. But I talked to him. I took the time, like the old country doctor, made him a tape. He took the tape home. But I relaxed him, and he told me about the fire trucks. And I told him fire trucks wouldn't bother him anymore. He'd probably want to get one to play with. I told him his father committed suicide, probably because his uncle did, and a seed was planted in the flower pot of the father, and the flower pot seed is not in this boy's mind because he'll never do anything like that. Come on up here, Andrew. Hey, buddy. Come over here. Now, do you listen to my tapes?
Yes.
What can you tell the people? Look in the camera over there. What can you tell the people about what it's like when you listen to my tapes?
I think it helps.
Put you to sleep?
Yeah.
And you're behaving and paying attention to the teachers and everything?
Yeah.
Good, and I explained to you all about Daddy's in heaven, and you'll never do anything like he did?
No.
Great. Thanks a lot. Why don't you say hello to the little boys and girls out there? Say hello to
Hi.
them. Okay, thank you. This is Anna. She's from Europe. And when she got some of my tapes, she came in my office and says, I can't understand you. She says, I try to interpret it in Polish after I hear you with your terrible English. But anyway, she said that a doctor tried to work with her and told her that he couldn't help her, that she couldn't relax enough, and he couldn't do it. So when she came to me, she was very skeptical. Anna, are you a non-smoker now?
Yes.
What can you tell? Would you stand up, please? What can you tell the people out there?
I didn't believe that it will work for me, but it really works, even if I didn't understand everything what he said.
Here, sit down now. Okay, what can you say? You can stand up. A pretty lady like you, we want to show you off.
Oh, dear.
Look at that beautiful red dress, huh? Okay.
I smoked for 30 years and went to Sam, and the introductory session, I quit in 3 days. Period.
I have a man here that took my course in salesmanship. So you people out there that don't have any problems, which I doubt, because all of us have some kind of a problem, we can motivate you to earn money, because the average salesman is not putting into practice what he could put into practice, and I pump into your subconscious mind motivation like you'd never believe. What is your name?
Fred Brown.
Fred, why don't you stand up? Okay, Fred, what can you tell the people about listening to the tapes?
Well, I believe in it for many, many years, and I came to Sam for weight, and once I solved that problem, I had in my mind that I wasn't earning a complete living, and I didn't know what I wanted to do, so Sam's tapes say visualize what your desires are on a screen.
Dottie, how many pounds have you lost?
36 pounds.
36 pounds. How many months?
6 months.
6 months. Now, we got Fran over here. You stand up. How many pounds have you lost?
42.
42 pounds. Give her a hand. What do you say?
It's been great for me. I suffered severely from migraine headaches due to a tumor, and I've eliminated the pains and the medication. So I believe in this program wholeheartedly.
Thank you. You had a heart patch, right? And the doctors tried to take you off of medication, sleeping pills, and you said they had to wrap your legs because they were running and moving. And since you've been taking and listening to my tapes, what's happened?
I'm fine. I'm just great.
Taking any medication?
No.
What were you taking before?
Well, I took 10 Valium a day.
What? 10 Valium a day? A lot of doctors are referring people to me, and I thank the medical doctors that have been doing so. Because like I said, medication is good for temporary use. Get a little help, and then you don't have to take medication the rest of your life, and doctors love that. Fritz, you had hypertension for how many years?
Oh, practically all my life.
And you had a mean disposition, I hear.
Ornery.
Arlene and Fritz are both in their mid-70s. She is off all medication, no longer has insomnia, and has lost 22 pounds. Fritz is now controlling both his blood pressure and his temper, and he's lost 18 pounds.
What is your name?
Ida Barricado.
And what's happened to you?
I came here in a wheelchair, wasn't able to walk. Now I can walk, and I've given up all my pain pills.
Just by listening to tapes?
I'm listening to tape.
You want people to believe that?
Yes, I hope they do.
What are you so excited about?
Happy.
Would you stand up here, walk up here? You were in a wheelchair? Yes. See, I don't take the credit for this, Ida. The Lord has given me a talent, and I'm using it. And everyone has a talent. All of us do. And we should help one another. And that's what we're lacking. That's the problem in this world today. Turn around. I can't believe it. How many years were you in a wheelchair?
Well, I've had arthritis for about 15, 20 years. And not just pain pills were helping.
Well, you keep...
But now I'm not taking no pain pills, no Valium, and one arthritis pill from 3.
You're not taking Valium?
No.
How many years you take all this garbage?
Oh, for 20 years.
I don't want to call it garbage. Temporarily, it's good stuff.
Years at least. I've had spinal stenosis.
Well, that's a beautiful story. I hope it helps some people out there. Okay? I feel like Jimmy Durante. I got 1 million of them. Believe me when I tell you, folks, we'll send you an evaluation of 127 questions. You fill it out, you mail it to us. I go over it along with my staff. There's over 100 people making this show possible, with operators and so forth standing by. We develop a kit of sessions, a kit of tapes for you. They hit you on the left side of the brain, the right side of the brain. They get in there and they make things happen, as you can see right here in this room.
I see benefit, and if that's the case, then humanity should have more of it.
Thank you very much. That's beautiful. Thank you.
Stay tuned. We'll be back with Sam Moranto and more of his success stories right after this. If you don't think Sam can help you lose weight, quit smoking, or get over depression, just watch this documented story and you too will become a believer.
T1?
22.
22, 1983. Now, your son was in a motorcycle accident where the calf of his left leg, the skin was pulled completely off,
His
the
leg
whole,
was completely off from
and the bone was broke.
That's right. Only the skin was attached to the leg.
Tim is listening to one of Sam's healing tapes using an inexpensive tape player and stereo headphones right in his own hospital bed. In spite of all the pain and damage to his leg, Tim used no drugs or morphine to help him sleep and control pain. He did it simply by listening to Sam's tapes. Look at the metal rods and casts. Can you imagine the pain he was in? Sam suggested to Tim that the muscles in his leg will grow back and heal without pain. If Sam can help Tim endure all of this, imagine how he can help you or a loved one heal yourself, get over suffering, quit smoking, lose weight, or overcome depression. You can do the same thing in your own home or hospital bed. Stay tuned to see Tim's progress 4 years later.
I grew my leg. I could have lost it. They were talking about prosthesis. It was pretty bad. There wasn't anything left.
When you were listening to the tapes, what would you do? Would you visualize the skin grafting?
Oh yeah, I just pictured all those blood cells going down there, taking care of the infection, growing new muscle, just growing, healing.
Here's the tape that I made for you before you had any growth at all. And your sister told me what they were going to do, and this is the soundtrack and beginning of the tape. You'll probably go to sleep while we're playing this, but let the people hear the tape that helped you.
Well, this tape's being made for Tim. Tim, your sister, who is a personal friend of mine, asked me to make this tape. And what I want you to do is to just close your eyes and relax. Listen to the music in the background. And I'm going to teach you how to go into a relaxed state. I'm going to teach you how you can use your own God-given mind and you can heal your body. You know, the good Lord has given us a beautiful body. It has ways of healing and manufacturing its own chemicals to promote good health. And you can relieve pain and you can promote faster healing, and you're going to be able to graft that skin from one leg to the other. It's going to take, and you're going to get stronger every day, and you're going to be able to walk and get around.
Here it is 4 years later, and Tim Clant is in the room here. Tim, would you stand up? Let's give him my hand. And he didn't lose his leg. What can you say? Would you come over here, please? Let's see you walk, man. No cane or nothing. Tim, what can you say about the gift that the Lord has given us, and that's our brain, and it's being filled up with crabgrass? You just pick up the paper, every page. We're all going to get AIDS. We're going to be wiped out. The medical profession has tried for years to try and solve cancer. The common cold, they can't even cure it. Now we got this devastating AIDS that's going to wipe us all out. And I'll tell you something. It could be the reason they can't find the problem is the problem might have something to do with the brain. Because fear sets in, doubt sets in, and then you start looking for symptoms, dwelling on them. We got every person that's ever taken a drug intravenously, every homosexual looking for a white tongue in the morning, looking for all the symptoms of coming down with diseases. And I'll tell you, if you got a strong faith in God and you believe in Him and you got that faith, you don't have to be afraid of anything on the face of this earth. And Tim, what can you say?
I owe Sam quite a bit because when I was in the hospital, they kept wanting to take off my leg because there wasn't much left. I guess it was a miracle because I had a lot of growth and my leg did grow quite a few amounts of tissue and muscle fiber. So I was pretty lucky, and I think that Sam, if you just listen, you just be amazed at what you can learn. A lot of you people here have, and you know what can happen. I just hope that the people out there can listen because I'm walking, I can jog, I feel great. So that's all I can say. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you for showing up today. Appreciate it. Is that a story, folks? There's more success stories in this room. Here's a man here. What is your name, sir?
Hank Stafford.
How many years ago did you come to me?
About 4 years ago. About 8 years ago, we started coming to you, first of all. My wife came. I didn't. I was skeptic about it. I didn't believe it.
Okay. Now, you came mainly for a lot of depression, nerves, stress. You have a physical problem called what? MD?
Right. Myasthenia gravis.
And did I stop you from smoking?
Yes, after a few days, I walked in hospital, laid cigarettes down, said I quit. Surprising because I tried it before and I lasted 2 days. I haven't had a cigarette in over 3 years.
Give him a hand for that, huh? What can you say about what these tapes have done for you?
Well, it's been 8 years now, and the magic still seems to be working. 8 years ago, I had a hard time walking, say, like a half a block. Now I'm somewhat of a racquetball champion. Amateur, of course, but it's a big step. My business certainly has improved. I can take and work all day on a drawing board, which is now a CAD system, a computer drawing board.
You could probably go on all day, but you notice he didn't stutter, didn't stammer? And anyone that has a lot of stress, being a prisoner of war and that, can have a lot of psychological problems, and he had some other problems that we helped him with. We don't have to mention them all, but Frank, what can you say?
Well, I think I feel 10 years younger now, and everything you did for me did help a lot.
I appreciate you coming today, Frank. Thank you very much. Okay. Gladys, would you stand up, Gladys? Yes. Okay, what can you say?
Well, all I'll say is this, that I think that God has put you on earth to help people. And I'm so thankful that I signed up with you, because we all need a change in life, right? And if I had to scrub floors, I'd take this course. Right.
Gladys suffered for years from insomnia and stress. Now she's got it under control. Coming up next, a Vietnam veteran. Before going into the service, John was as nice a guy as you'd ever want to meet. But he was programmed to kill. In fact, he killed over 100 people for his country. When he was discharged, he was an emotional time bomb. But Sam's tapes helped bring him back to being the nice guy he was before going into the service.
The service, and he was still programmed to kill. How many times have you been arrested for fighting and brawls?
Over 100 times, at least.
Over 100 times? You kept getting out of those jams, right?
Yes, luckily.
People were afraid to press the charges. He's got a black belt, and he's 6'2", or whatever. But he went to the VA, and the VA, what did the doctor tell you there?
Well, in front of my wife, he told me that I would probably kill some people on the street. I would probably kill my wife and then kill myself. And that's when I got mad and I left.
And you went back to the VA with a gun and were circling the place. Instead, you circled my place. Right? He came into my office mad because the girls gave him the wrong direction. Hey, the girls gave me the wrong direction. What's going on here? What kind of place you got over here? And I put him in a room, and we put him on a tape I call Weed Puller. It's where we get the crabgrass out of your brain, and it's very simple. It's not complicated, and I hope there's a lot of psychiatrists and psychologists listening to the show today, because I'm willing to help them in any way I can. People are suffering, going through a lot, taking too many tranquilizers, too many pills, straitjackets. Now they're bringing back shock therapy. The VA told him he'd probably kill someone, probably kill his wife. Most men might go out and do it after. But he was as calm. I couldn't believe how calm he was when he came out of that room. He paid me some money. He didn't have it all, but he kept coming back, giving me money a little bit at a time. How many years ago?
4 years ago.
4 years ago. And now you got a business?
Yes, I do. Very successful.
I wish your wife came today, because she came in my office while you were having a session. She says, man, you saved my life. I was trying to get rid of him, but he would track me down like a deer and kill me, and now he's as calm as can be. When he got in the Army, they taught him to kill. When they let him out, they didn't know how to deprogram him, and he was a time bomb. And how many men are out there at that little box of tapes, that little simple box of tapes over there with about 10 hours of me talking, can change a man's life? Send for my tapes, folks, before you shoot people. That was another story I have here.
Never before has there been a show where there have been so many people in the same room showing such spectacular results. These people sat under hot studio lights for almost 4 hours and were spellbound themselves with each other's stories. We will highlight some of those stories in the brief time we have remaining. How are you feeling about it at home? Are you ready to feel better? Most of these folks have been lucky enough to get this training because they live in Arizona, but you can be as happy as they are, and you don't have to live in Arizona. Sam's tapes are now available by mail. Go to your phone and make that call, or come into Sam's Phoenix office.
I came originally because I was severely depressed. I had a very bad attitude. I also had a real bad skin condition called eczema. Since I've been listening to the tapes, I've lost at least 20 pounds. My skin condition is gone, and I feel fabulous about myself. All I can say is that Sam Moranto is fabulous, and all the people that he works with, they stand behind their products, and they're here, and they care about you. They're not just a ad or anything like that. They really care, and they're out there for you 100%. Thanks, Sam.
Thank you.
Here's a photo taken in 1977 when Evelyn was overweight, had stammered speech, was shy, and smoked 2 packs a day. She has maintained her 50-pound weight loss, stopped smoking, and achieved other positive lasting results since 1978.
But you're averaging $6,000 a year, part-time.
Yeah,
How much a year are you making now?
about 30.
$30,000 a year. Let's give her a little hand on that one. Now I want you to say, Peter Piper picked the peck. I can't even say it. But you don't stutter anymore.
No. I weighed also 185 when I first met Sam in '78.
Don, how many pounds have you lost?
42 in 5 months.
42 pounds in 5 months. That deserves a hand. Did you think somebody's going to give you a box of tapes and you're going to listen to them and you're going to be able to achieve results like you've achieved?
I was very skeptical. I didn't know what to expect, really, but I was very impressed. Your spirituality, your sincerity, and then through repetition and exercise, it just started coming off. And I was amazed, and I still am amazed.
There are so many phonies out there trying to sell you ways of improving your life. They can show you people who have had short-term success. Some can even show you their credentials on the wall. That only proves they put in time at school. The bottom line is lasting results. Sam Moranto backs up what he says. Here's proof. A story written by a reporter in 1978 appeared in the Scottsdale, Arizona Daily Progress. In the lower picture is a registered nurse with 7 children who lost 80 pounds. In the top photo, there is a 66-year-old lady who had headaches for over 60 years. Her memory was bad, she was shy, and she came to Sam claiming she was too old to do the things she always wanted to do and never did when she was younger. Sam told her it was never too late. He had her visualize all the things she ever dreamed of doing. She became one of the top senior citizen models in this country. She's won 3 international dance awards. She's been in 30 commercials and several movies. She's here today, more than 10 years later.
And I want you to give a hand to Ida Jackson, who is 76 years old today. This is her birthday. Happy birthday to you, Ida Jackson. Ida, would you step up here, please? Ida, you look beautiful. Beautiful. Ida, people wouldn't believe this story in a million years, that somebody talks to you and gives you a cassette tape and you listen to it, and at 66 years old, your whole life changes. But what can you tell the people about the benefits of using what God gave you, and that's your mind, having it programmed like a computer? You know, garbage in, garbage out, good in, good out. I pumped in some good suggestions, and they took root, and they grew, and here you are. What can you say?
All I can say is that it really works. I have never had a headache since, and he's already told you all the nice things that's happened to me. And he is the answer to your prayer.
Here's a 79-year-old man who came to Sam 4 years ago after having had total knee replacement surgery. He was taking a lot of pain medication and was told that at his age he would never work again. Sam said nonsense and had him happily back at work in 2 months as a cowboy at a Mesa, Arizona ranch without medication. Sam says the body never stops healing itself at any age. It's only the mind that slows down. Sam's tapes rejuvenate the mind and the body. Roy Sarine is living proof.
What can you say about listening to these tapes?
Well, all I can say is that they certainly helped me. And I found nothing that detracted from my religious beliefs, and I don't think anyone else's religious beliefs. In fact, I think you've got to believe in God, or at least a higher being, before Sam can do you any good.
Thank you very much, Roy. Hope. What is your name?
Pamela Richards.
Pamela. Your brother was, can I say this story? Your brother was shot 2 years ago. And ever since he got shot, you got a news clipping of it, right? You'd watched that news clipping? You too? Okay. So, anyway, you weren't eating. You lost a lot of weight. You were taking medication, drugs. You weren't working. You got my tapes how long ago?
Oh, it was about a month and a half ago.
What's happened since?
I've completely changed. The only way I can describe it is, the only reason I'm crying is because of my mother. But I've done a complete turnaround. My frame of mind, and people out there who've lost a loved one will know what I'm talking about. But it's like a time warp. For 2 years, it took me 2 years to come out of it.
What brought you out of it?
Your tapes.
Yeah, that's all we wanted to hear. Thank you. He won how many scholarships in college, for college?
4.
4 scholarships. You went to college in Pennsylvania,
Yes, I did.
and when it got to be basketball season, what happened?
I couldn't play
Why?
because I was having all these pains like crazy, and I didn't know what was going on.
Where were you having them?
In the neck, I had headaches, and my whole left side was numb.
Okay, how many doctors did you see for it?
About 15.
15.
Medical doctors, acupuncturists, therapists, chiropractors, everything.
One witch doctor he told me about.
Yeah, one of them
Sprinkle
too.
some lotion on you? This is true. He came to me with no money, and we don't turn people away. We're a church organization, but I'll tell you something. If you have the money, we need it to carry on. And this young man here would come in every now and then and hand me a few dollars. I hate to even take it from him, but he appreciates the fact that we were able to help him. What did I tell you the problem was? No, first of all, he went to a medical doctor, and the medical doctor said, that's strange. Were you ever in an accident? And he says, yes, about a year ago, but I didn't get hurt, Doc. I says, yes, you did. You got hurt. You got some nerve damage down here. And one doctor wanted to operate. True?
True.
So anyway, I gave you some tapes. You were so impressed with them, you even brought your grandfather in, and your mother signed up 2 weeks ago.
That's right.
Where is she tonight? Working. Okay. Now, the fact is this. You're going back and you're going to play basketball, and you've been playing basketball, right?
That's right, better than I ever had before.
Now, what did I tell you the problem was?
Well, there was a lot of things. I was playing ball with a friend of mine, and he was telling me that he didn't think I was good enough to play in a major college.
Okay, you can stop right there. He was a champion in high school, and his friend says, you're good, man, but you're not good enough for college. And when he went to college, the seed was planted, the crabgrass, in his mind by his friend, and when he got there, he couldn't function. And being a black man, he says, hey, nobody in the family's ever been successful. How can I be successful? But he is successful, and stand up. Let him see that beautiful physique. He's even losing weight.
We'll be right back.
We're back, folks. You saw a 6-year-old boy, Andrew. He's one of the youngest here today. Now you're going to meet the oldest, Dr. Kaminsky, 91 years old. Let's give him a hand. This is a very famous man, folks. He's been on the Steve Allen Show. He's worked with the FBI solving a murder case. He's written books on nutrition. He can listen to your voice and tell if you're sincere. He can tell if you're honest by reading your handwriting. And I want you to hear a few words from Dr. Kaminsky.
Pam, as you know, I have known you a bit over 10 years. I worked with you somewhat, and I've observed you. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, when Sam speaks of your mind power, it's not just your mind power. It's the mind of God working through you, understand? Because you're a child of God. And there's nothing you cannot do with your life in a human form that the mind cannot achieve. Now, that's number one. Number two, the main reason for the phenomenal success of the Sam Moranto system of mind power for the last 36 years is because he loves his fellow man. We all have to get paid for it somehow, otherwise we can't survive. But he loves his fellow man, and those people who work with him, they feel it. He doesn't have to tell them, they feel it. And as a result of that, the results are really phenomenal. You can get rid of any bad habit that you want to get rid of. I never tire listening to people telling me, anyone I talk to. So ladies and gentlemen, please understand that.
Thank you.
Marie weighed 506 pounds. She was going blind from hypertension and was taking more than $200 worth of medication every month. Now, with the help of Sam's tapes, she's lost 46 pounds, her eyesight has been restored, can once again drive a car, and is off all medication. Marie lives more than 100 miles from Sam's office, but it might as well be 10,000 miles. No matter where you may live, help is as close as your telephone. Make that most important phone call of your life now, or come into Sam's office.
I have not had any headaches since. My vision is perfect. I'm driving.
The following story is being told only to help those people who may be abusing their children. Everyone is talking about child abuse. There are articles written about it and television programs produced about it. But Sam Moranto helps cure it. Child abusers have been abused themselves. They only react to the seeds that have been planted in their minds. Again, talk is cheap. Here is the proof. Before you see and hear this story, we'd like to thank Mike, a real man's man, who sought help from Sam 4 years ago, and he wants others to get help like he did. Not many people care enough to help others by admitting the truth. Thanks again to Mike and his beautiful wife.
Well, just say in your own mind what these tapes have done to help you.
Well, they helped me 100%. I had a chronic problem with temper over the years. My father bred it into me, I think. And when I was first coming to Sam, we had 6-month-old twins, and I was endangering their life, really. I just didn't know if I could handle their screaming and their constant problems of 6-month-old babies, let alone double it. And he helped me 100%. I lost my hatred for them by listening to the tapes. I excelled in my work a lot more than I used to because I could control my temper more. I gained my wife's respect back because she was scared to death that I was going to hurt the twins or her. So I'm indebted to him completely.
How many times were you put in the hospital?
Not in the hospital, but in the Child Crisis Center. I took the female over there twice and the male twin once. And my other son and I, excuse me, went to the shelter for the battered women.
And you called me up, Rudy, saying you needed help. Okay. He had my tapes for about a year, and you called me one time and said, Sam, I thought I was going to get it. He came home. I saw that look in his eyes. He was ready. I was ready to pack up, go back to the shelter. And then he says, I better put Sam's tapes on.
That's right.
Is that the truth?
That's right.
Let's give that a hand, folks.
Sam, I've tried every program there ever was. I've been on Weight Watchers. I've been to many doctors, but I've been on your program, and I've lost 36 pounds, and it works.
John also had a very bad temper that he picked up from his father. His entire family paid the price.
And he's not like that anymore, are you, John?
No, my whole family asking their mother, what happened to Dad? He's not like that anymore.
It's because Dad had roses put in his mind. Okay, folks, we're going to wrap it up, so order those tapes right now because we need your help. Please, do yourself a favor.